The Mission Impossible franchise has been one of, if not the best action franchises in movie history. Just recently, I watched all of them back to back, and I gotta say, there isn't one bad Mission Impossible movie. Some are good, some are great, and some are less good than others, but there isn't any Mission Impossible movie that I did not have a great time with. Fallout is my favorite as of now. I could talk about that masterpiece for hours if given the chance, but what's interesting about these films is that they're all helmed by different directors, which gives each movie its own unique and distinct personality, look, and feel. It gives the films their own sense of style, and I like that you get to have a different experience with each installment. But since Rogue Nation, Cruise has stuck to Christopher McQuarrie directing these films, and the man is literally perfect for this franchise. Dead Reckoning Part 1 has been one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and I am so excited to see this team and McQuarrie return. I saw the movie's first trailer and then I have not seen any of its promotional material since because I want to experience everything for the first time in that glorious IMAX screen. And so, I'm gonna watch Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Let's see how it goes.
Let's go! Run like Tom Cruise! Oh, we're late. Oh! Come on, bro!
Stay out of my way. I can't do that.
How was the movie?
Whatever.
I like Fallout more, but this was great. And
This is what
you like this more than Fallout,
Yes.
bro. Fallout is something else only, bro. I'm sorry.
Bro, this is masterpiece.
It is
I'm
good.
in love.
It is good.
I loved it, obviously. Christopher McQuarrie can do no wrong, and mind you, this video will not spoil the movie, but I will, however, talk about its themes and my overall thoughts on the film, but I will not give away the plot. One thing I love about these movies are the scenes preceding the title credits and how different and innovative they are in each movie. Fallout probably has my favorite pre-opening credits scene, and so did this movie. The comedic punchline and composer Lorne Balfe going hard with the score, having a rising crescendo with those fast drums and bongos until the Mission Impossible theme kicks in with full gear and loud heavy drums, making this movie feel like the grand event that it is. Right then and there is when I knew that this movie was 100% my shit. I knew that the next 2.5 hours of my life are going to be in safe hands by some of the best people working in the industry. The movie brings back the team from the previous film, and it's always nice to see them banter and work together, but this is also important to the themes that this film explores. The IMF is facing the threat of a powerful AI known as the Entity, and this is something new and unique for the Mission Impossible films. Usually, the antagonist is a bad guy with their own set of corrupted beliefs, and Ethan is running to stop them. And you have your fair share of those in this movie, but the ultimate threat Ethan faces is in fact a faceless entity. And honestly, that makes the force of antagonism even more terrifying. The fact that they are not physical, and this threat is surprisingly very relevant in today's time. The growth of AI has stirred a lot of debate about whether it's beneficial or whether it's a threat. And its effects have also been a cause for concern in the film industry, with the writers' strike currently going on with pay disagreements from Hollywood producers and increased use of AI in projects as an excuse to not pay the artists working behind these very films and shows. Even on Twitter, I see videos of people using AI to expand on shots and scenes from movies as if the framing and shot compositions weren't a deliberate creative decision from the filmmakers. And I never thought that I would be talking about this in a review of a Mission Impossible movie. And yet, here we are. But the film really explores and tackles these thematic ideas with depth and still remains an entertaining action movie. The entity really feels like a genuine threat because it can be anywhere. It's not a person existing in physical space. When the characters try to think the way the entity thinks, they realize that they have to operate outside logic and reasoning with cold apathy. And Ethan Hunt just isn't that. In fact, he's quite literally the opposite. I like that the film expands Hunt's characterization from Fallout and explores it much more here, considering it's a core part of the film's thematic idea. Hunt is a selfless man. He gives tons of importance to the mission, but always achieves it without costing the life of someone he loves or someone innocent. This is the entire reason Hunt ends up where he did in Fallout, because he could not take his best friend's life for plutonium that threatens the safety of the entire world. This is the hard choice that he always has to make. Hunt is someone who would rather put his life on the line if it means saving someone else's, even if it's someone he barely knows. Ethan Hunt shows us humanity's best side, the empathy that a human has, that an AI lacks.
Some flaw deep in your core being simply won't allow you to choose between one life and millions. And you see that as a sign of weakness. To me, that's your greatest strength.
An AI can't match the power of friendship on screen, the power and impact of human relationships. That's special to us, unique to us, and Hunt represents these qualities. That is shown to us not just in what he says, but in the choices that he makes. And the weight and importance of choice and free will is heavily emphasized in this film. Choices are reflective of the person making them. It tells us more about them and gives us insight into what kind of person they are. The AI prophesizes events, whereas choice is human, it's uncertain. Hunt is the antithesis of the entity. While the entity operates on logic, Hunt doesn't, most of the time. I love that even in this film, you see Ethan improvising and making shit up on the fly in dire situations. He doesn't think and just does.
Don't think, just do.
And that does make him a batshit crazy person. Ethan Hunt is a madman, and Ethan Hunt is Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise is also a madman. I mean, the man actually rode a motorcycle off a cliff. My guy is over 60 years old and is still performing death-defying stunts practically. I mean, the dedication to one's craft cannot be overstated enough. Cruise knows that he can use CGI extensively or use a stunt double, but he knows and understands the impact of the cinematic experience. All he wants is for you to be immersed and to create immersion. Cruise and McQuarrie aim for practicality because it's real, it's believable, and it's much more immersive than a weightless CG double.
Look, I do it because it's entertaining to you all. Do you know? I want to entertain you.
I think they're going to find out.
I want to entertain you.
And he's always thinking objectively for the audience. So this whole film was designed going, does this engage the audience? And he's finding moments of going, how can I excite and delight the audience?
Every Mission Impossible movie has had different directors, yet McQuarrie is the only one who has made 3, and a 4th one coming soon. Cruise and McQuarrie get each other, they speak the same cinematic language. They are equally crazy, not only in the stunts that they shoot, but the way they shoot the film. Fallout had just 30 pages or so when they began filming, and they figured out the rest of the movie on the fly as they were making it. That right there is super risky, especially for a big blockbuster film costing millions of dollars, but they pulled it off and it worked. And in this film, not only did Tom Cruise ride a motorcycle off a cliff, but they crashed a train from a bridge onto the ground and they strapped a camera on the falling train. Like, if that isn't crazy, then what is? This whole film is made by talented people coming together and ensuring that you have an absolutely wonderful time at the theater, that the experience is worth the price of admission. The action is expectedly fantastic, everything is clear and precise, there is clarity in what you are seeing. You see Tom Cruise run a lot and fast. At times it's like even the camera is trying to catch up to his speed. I really do not know how he still does it at the age of 61. There are multiple great action set pieces, but they all serve story purpose. The tension only increases, especially in the train action set piece. I was at the edge of my seat, nervously reacting to a scene with ever-growing suspense. Though Lorne Balfe's bombastic and operatic score does give me the rush of emotions in many scenes, the lack of music also plays a part in making the audience feel the tension and the nervousness of seeing how characters try to make their way out of deadly situations that almost seem impossible to get out of. Filmmaking wise too, there were a bunch of Dutch angles, which was, pretty reminiscent of the first Mission Impossible movie and the famous Dutch angles of that film. Tom Cruise felt like our very own Indian superstar by how people started whistling and cheering the moment his face showed up on screen. When the title credits hit, the audience screamed in celebration and it fired up the entire aura of the hall. I mean, hear the reactions during this now iconic scene. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 is only one half of the story, just like Spider-Verse and many other Hollywood films these days. So do not go into this movie expecting a complete narrative, but whatever we do see is some of the best filmmaking that I have seen all year. I absolutely loved this movie. It's not my favorite in the franchise, but it delivers as an action entertainer that explores unique themes about humanity and artificial intelligence and choice and its potential dangers. Every single person working in this film is informed here and absolutely on top of their game. Watching this film on an IMAX screen was definitely worth it. I truly cannot wait to see what they do in part 2. Thank you for watching. And yeah, like, share, subscribe. Tell me what you thought of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 in the comments below. I would love to talk to you about it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.